Okay, so the project for today is to move this storage building behind me. This storage building has been here for quite some time, and it belongs actually to our neighbor who lives next door. And there's her house, or actually her garage, right next door to our house. And so she wants to get rid of this storage building, and my daughter Ashley actually needs a storage building. So what we're going to do is we're going to push up these bushes that are intended to hide the storage building. Then we're going to elevate that building about 32 inches off the ground, and then we'll back my trailer right underneath it, strap it down, and haul it away. At least that's the plan. So let's get to it. Well, I went to get my sawhorses that I was going to use to elevate this storage building up off the ground so I could drive my trailer underneath, and discovered, unfortunately, that they are not in very good shape. They're pretty crummy looking. Actually, I built these sawhorses probably 15 years ago out of unpressure treated wood. I'm surprised they've lasted this long. They're a little rickety, so I'm going to start off by building some new sawhorses. So here we go. Toenail this last one in here. There you have it. Brand new set of sawhorses. That last set lasted me about 15 years. Hopefully this set will last me that long as well. Now these, I had some boards that were 2x10s, which are actually 9.5 inches wide, and I ripped those down the middle for something. And I ripped a bunch of them because I had a bunch of 2x10s left over from a project. So I ripped a bunch of them down the middle, didn't use all of them. So I decided to use these, which are about 4.5, 5 inches wide, for about 4.5 inches wide for these sawhorses. So it's nice when you got lumber sitting around, scraps, that you can utilize for something useful. So let's load these up, get them over there to the shed, and see if we can't start working on the shrubs, getting the shrubs up. up on this and just slide those under. Ow!
Oh, sorry.
Okay. This side over here. Probably just leave those right there where they are. I'm going to try to lift it and walk it over. You can help me lift this one. tall we are here. We gotta be 32 inches up. 31 and a half. It's gonna work.
Looks like run.
Let's see how wide we are here. Perfect. It is just trailer. So probably what I'll do is I'll back the trailer up here, unhook it from the truck, and walk it in by hand. Lock it down, and hook the truck back to it.
Go tiny bit, about 1 inch that way. Right. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What you got?
Yeah, I'm scared you're gonna hit it instead of and then jar this thing. Well, yeah, you would.
You help me lift one.
The whole shed over.
Oh, it won't. I won't go slow.
I mean, I think okay. I think you're just moving that sawhorse. Another foot. You're at the end of the last rocks. I'll tell you when it comes out. Lights are out. That's good. That's good. I mean, you're pretty in the middle of it now almost.
Perfect. That's what I want.
Right, I know.
I'm gonna lift up by hand on this. Let's see.
On the shed, let me pull the first block out.
Move the blocks.
Just one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other side. Quickly. The same thing on the other side. Rock and roll, baby. Well, got the shed to my daughter's house, and backed it up to this point in the truck. Then we had some muscle here. It took 4 of us, 1 on every corner, to lift it up off this trailer, and we carried it all the way back here. Here she sits. Ready to be used. They're getting a new fence in here. So, but here's their new storage shed. So got lots of life in it. Well, that project's about done now. Got it all moved and set up. So how did this project come about in the first place?
Well, it came about by our neighbor coming over, seeing what we were doing on the patio and saying, that just looks so nice. Now the only thing is we need to clear the view and it'd be nice if we could get rid of that shed and help just make the view nice and pretty and clean. And get rid of the bushes all around it. And so I just said, well, if you're serious about that, we can probably help you do that. That's probably something Troy can handle. And she was serious, so we found a person.
We did it. We found a person. The person happened to be our second born child, our daughter Ashley and her husband Clay. They could use a storage building. So to start off the project, I measured the building to see how big it was. Then I also measured the height of my trailer. It was 31 inches tall. So I said, well, if I can jack it up to 32 inches, then I know I'll have enough clearance to get it underneath there and get it loaded. So then we talked about the route we were going to take.
Yes, we had thought that ahead of time. We knew we didn't want to go on the interstate because we'd be going too slow and just be dangerous anyway with people going fast around us. So luckily we had a route that we could go around the mountain, and we just mapped it out ahead of time. Then the other thing is that we stayed on the phone to each other the whole time.
Yeah.
And so
communication is the key in marriage.
So anyway.
But taking the back roads, I knew we were going to have to go through 2 railroad tunnels and then the McCauley Tunnel, which is a longer tunnel. So I measured the total height once we got the storage building on the trailer. I measured the total height, and I paid attention to those signs that tell you the height of those bridges or those tunnels going in, and we had plenty of clearance the whole way. So that was good. But you're following behind me.
I'm following behind you. We make it through the first tunnel, and lo and behold, cop comes right up beside us. So I said, hold your breath. Make sure those lights don't come on. And luckily, we held our breath long enough.
Yeah, they did not come on. I could just see the headlines. Local pastor arrested for oversized load not permitted properly or something like that. So, but grace, God's grace. So we got the storage shed in place, set up, and it's being used already. And but when we came back,
Troy brought in a bucket or 2 of dirt that we still had left from the other side up around to where the shed was, leveled that out, and then I put out some seed and grass, and
it looks
got
nice.
A clear view that we were both us and our neighbor were wanting.
Oh yeah, looks wonderful. We love it. So storage shed project is done. But speaking of storage, Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 and 20 says this: do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy or where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroy nor thieves break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.